marketing, explosive growth, and revolutionary secrets that can catapult your business to new heights. You're now listening to the Underground Marketer Podcast with your host, Tudor Dumitrescu, the one podcast devoted to showing new businesses how to market themselves for high growth.
Welcome to the Underground Marketer. This is the place where we deliver the real truth about marketing and explore big ideas that can help new businesses thrive and grow into big ones. I'm your host Tudor, and today we're going to talk about the relationship between health and performance in business and otherwise. And health is perhaps the most important thing when it comes to maximizing your performance. If your health is not in the right place, you're going to struggle to operate at your peak performance levels. And obviously, if you look at people who try to get to their peak performance, top business people, athletes, and so on, you'll see that all of them take great care of their health and they invest a lot in their health because that's actually critical to getting the most amount of energy and getting the highest performance that they can for whatever they're trying to achieve. And there's really 4 key areas that you have to take care of when it comes to your health. And we're actually going to discuss all 4 of them. So I'm going to quickly go over what they are, and then we're going to go into discussing each one of the 4 individually. And I'm going to give you some tips based on what I've seen working and what I've seen get results in those 4 areas. So we have sleep, diet, which is the second one, exercise, which is the third one, and finally relaxation, which is the 4th one. So those 4 areas are key to your health, right? If one of those areas is not working out, then your health is not going to be at its best and your performance is going to suffer as a result of it. So we will start with sleep. Sleep is perhaps the most important area, and often the one that people, myself included, most often neglect. And people don't have much of an issue and don't think it's a big deal to go without sleep or to be sleep deprived, but it actually is. And the easiest way to realize this is to compare your productivity and how you feel on a day when you're well rested to the productivity and your feelings on a day when you are very sleepy and unrested. Maybe you haven't managed to sleep much and so on. And you'll notice a very big difference. First of all, you can't concentrate very well. You can't bear with pain and discomfort very well when you're sleep deprived. And you may find that you respond very easily to stress. You can't handle stress as easily as you would otherwise. We have already said you can't concentrate on things and you don't have a lot of motivation, right? So all of that goes out the window if you're sleep deprived. This doesn't mean that if you are sleep deprived, you can't use your willpower to basically force yourself to do those things that you have to do, like concentrate, be motivated, and so on. You can force yourself to do those things. It's just that it's going to be much harder than it otherwise is, right? And if something can be easier, why do you just want to make it hard for yourself? And there's no reason to do that. So that's why sleep is supremely important. And I said that out of those factors, it's perhaps the most important. And when somebody is ill, right, and when somebody is sick, or when somebody is in hospital, what do? They sleep, right? So sleep is actually the time when your body is rebuilding itself, when your memory is actually getting consolidated inside your brain and is getting arranged inside your brain so that it can be easily accessible later while you're awake. So all that happens during sleep. If you lose sleep and if you don't get enough sleep, then your body is not going to be able to recover from the stresses that you've put on it. So it's going to be more reactive to stress. It's going to be less able to concentrate and less able to get stuff done. Your performance is definitely going to suffer if you don't take care of sleep. So the right amount of sleep, it usually is going to vary from anywhere from 6 to 9 or even sometimes 10 hours per night. And it depends on the person. Like, you have to get to know yourself and to get to know your body and see what sort of sleep you need every night in order to be able to be rested, basically. And the only way to know this is obviously based on experience. For myself, I need at least 7 to 8 hours, right? If I don't get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, then I'm not going to feel rested on the next day, and my performance is going to suffer as a result of it. And I've tested this hundreds of times. I know it for a fact. The other factor that's very important when it comes to sleep is when you sleep. It's one thing to sleep for 8 hours when you go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. And it's another thing to sleep for 8 hours when you go to sleep at 11 o'clock in the night, right? In one case, if I go to sleep at 11, for example, I will feel supremely rested when I wake up after 8 hours, right? I'll have no problem. But when I go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, and then I sleep for the same 8 hours, I'm going to feel super tired when I wake up, right? So respecting the clock of your body is important in this regard. That's why the best time for most people to go to sleep at is going to be before 12 in the middle of the night. If you go to sleep before 12 in the middle of the night, then the chances that the amount of sleep that you actually have is going to be helpful and it's going to rest you is much higher. So those two things, figuring out the number of hours that you need to sleep for and always doing that, and sleeping before 12 at night, those are key to maintain your health in terms of your sleep. The other factor that we're going to discuss next is diet. Now, what your diet is going to be different based on your demands. So obviously, if you're exercising, if you're working out, if you're doing stuff like that, you're going to need different stuff in your diet than if, for example, you just go to the office and you work. Personally, I found for myself that if I eat less meat and if I don't consume sugars and sweets and soft drinks and all that crap, right? If I don't eat all of that and I don't have to exercise or I don't have to do anything that's physically demanding during the day, I'm going to have a lot more mental clarity and a lot more motivation and a lot more energy. If I have to do physical stuff during the day, obviously the same thing holds true. No soft drinks, no sweets, no crap like that, no artificial sugars or sweeteners, nothing like that. And the only difference really is that I would eat meat, right? Red meat, chicken meat, pork, doesn't really matter what kind of meat, but meat is important if you're working out. It's going to help you recover faster, it's going to help you grow muscle, and it's going to give you the energy that you actually need throughout the day. Carbohydrates, if you're working out, are also essential. So stuff like rice and so on, they're very good for you when you're working out because they give you long-term sugar that your body is going to need. So generally in terms of diet, as I said, the ground rules are going to be stay away from stuff that's artificial, especially stuff that contains a lot of sugar, soft drinks and stuff like that. You never need that. Obviously, stay away if you can from cigarettes and from alcohol. They're going to depress your system and you're going to have a much harder time maintaining performance. And obviously, the same goes for drugs. Drugs are going to do even worse for you. So if you are the kind of guy who's smoking weed, drinking alcohol and whatnot, there's no wonder that you can't build a business. There's no wonder. I don't expect you to be able to build a business like that. None of the entrepreneurs who have built great businesses started out building their business while they were on drugs. Maybe they got on drugs or maybe they got on alcohol or whatever when their business was already big. That's a different thing because at that point you have a lot of people working for you. Not everything depends on you. And if you yell at the right people and if you make sure that you put pressure in the right places, then you don't need that much energy to keep the machine going, right? And to keep your business going. But that's not true when you're first starting out because all the performance of the business depends on you, right? And if you're not at your peak, your business is going to suffer as a result. And you don't want that to happen, right? That's why you have to have your diet in place. So no soft drinks, no artificial sweeteners, no sugars, no sweets. Eat a lot of fruits, eat a lot of vegetables. If you're working out, eat some meat. No alcohol, no smoking, no drugs, right? That basically covers what we mean by diet. And it's essential for your health. If your diet is messed up, you're not going to be able to achieve maximum levels of performance. The other factor that's super essential is to eat at least 3 times per day. Maybe more. If you can have a snack every now and then, that's perfect, because it's going to maintain your motivation throughout the day while you're working and achieving performance. And it's also going to give you a boost of energy. If you eat a ton, for example, at once, let's say in the morning, and then you only eat in the evening, throughout the middle of the day, you're going to start running out of energy and you're going to be less motivated. You're going to work slower. You're going to struggle to concentrate and all of this, right? Because there's no energy left. Right? So that's why you need to eat throughout the day and replenish the energy that's going missing. So if you can have a snack, if you can have a quick bite of a fruit, stuff like that is going to be very useful. The next factor that we're going to cover is exercise. And after sleep and diet, exercise is very important because it's going to help you develop your body and also your mind. Many people, they don't think that exercise develops your mind, but it does, because it teaches you how to handle discomfort and gives you practice for handling discomfort every day. And in addition to that, you also learn how to develop willpower by exercising. So it's not just about your body that you're developing with exercise, it's also your mind. And once your body develops and you become stronger in your body, your mind is also going to become stronger. You're going to experience less anxiety if you're big and muscular and so forth. And you're going to have a lot more willpower and a lot more strength. And it's a fact, like I've experienced this for myself. After exercise, you're also going to notice that you have a lot more energy. So maybe you woke up and you were not really in the mood for anything, and then you had to go exercise. And suddenly, after you've exercised, you have a ton of energy. You're ready to dive into your business. You're ready to take action. You're ready to prospect. You're ready to get on sales calls and get stuff done, right? And before exercise, you weren't ready to do this stuff. So that's why it's important to get some exercise going. So what that exercise is for you is going to differ based on your goals. So some of you want to develop strict endurance, for example, and you may choose to do so by running. And that's going to be your exercise. You can run 3-4 times a week, 30 minutes, 1 hour, maybe more. And that's pretty much going to be how you exercise. For other people, it's going to be working out. I work out myself and I do high intensity 3 times a week. And it's just 20 minutes per day, right? But it's high intensity. And that's the point. I don't lose a lot of time to exercise, but I get the exercise in. It's high intensity. I build my strengths. I build my muscles. And I'm ready to go for the rest of the day. It gives me a lot of energy. I'm pumped for the rest of the day after exercise, and I can go through everything else much more easily. So that's the tip that I have basically for exercise. Make sure that you do it. Make sure that you do it 3, maybe 4 times a week at least, and find some sort of exercise that's meaningful for you. Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's running. Maybe it's calisthenics, maybe it's some form of martial art, whatever it is. Just figure out something that's aligned with your goals, or maybe a combination of things that are aligned with your goals, and do them. And be persistent about it, because remember, it develops both your mind and your body, right? It's not just your body that's going to develop. And finally, we have to speak about relaxation, right? So nobody can survive if they're consistently under stress for a very, very long time. Right? So you always need periods of doing stuff that relaxes you. There's a lot of activities that you can find relaxing. And what matters here is that you figure out what actually works for yourself, because that can differ. For example, for me, reading is very relaxing. When I read, I'm relaxed, right? And I relax while reading. For other people, reading is like a chore, right? For them, it's not relaxing. Meditation is also very good when it comes to slowing down and relaxing. I used to practice it very often. I practice it very rarely nowadays, but it's useful when it comes to relaxing yourself. Relaxing yourself also builds reserves of strength. So when you go back to your work, you're going to be a lot more productive. Your mind is going to be clearer, which is very important. And you're going to be able to get a lot more done if you have periods of relaxation. So I love to have time for relaxing during the weekend and every evening, generally when I'm spending time with family. So other things that you can do to relax: go out for a walk in nature, very relaxing. Spend time with friends, which can be relaxing. Spend time with your family, which again can be relaxing. Play games, obviously, and do things that you enjoy. generally, the more you enjoy something, the more relaxing you're going to find it. And generally, it's good if there's no pressure in the thing that you enjoy, right? And it's just something that you enjoy doing, and there's nothing that's pushing you to do it faster or whatever. It's just something that you do purely because you enjoy it. Maybe it's playing a musical instrument, as I said, maybe it's being out in nature, whatever it is. You have to figure that stuff for yourself. And that pretty much covers all 4 bases. These things, sleep, diet, exercise, and relaxation, probably in that order, are super important for your health. And if you're going to focus and you're going to maintain all 4 of those areas in balance and ready to go, then you're going to have good health. And if you have good health, you're going to be able to maximize the levels of your energy, performance, motivation, determination, and taking action for your business. And you're going to be able to build a big business and achieve your goals much more easily. You're also going to get a lot more joy out of life if you're healthy and if you maintain your health. And the way to maintain your health is to build those habits, those positive habits in those 4 key areas that we've discussed. And if you do that, then you can maintain your health and achieve the peak performance levels that you're after. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you for today. As usual, stay tuned for the next episode, and until next time, remember to keep growing your business and providing massive value to the world. You are the reason why we're all growing richer, our freedoms are expanding, and we're all living in greater prosperity. Thank you.